early in the second half, and then through that third quarter and into the fourth, he had that huge three late. Was really impressive. So, and he did a really good job defensively as well, and on the glass was easy.
Just along with points, Coach, what did you see in that third quarter that really stands out the most, that really turned things around, going into the fourth with a 10-point deficit all of a sudden? What did you see, looking back on it, that stands out the most about that third quarter?
Just we kind of reconnected to who we are. I thought they were really good early, and some of it was like shot making. They made a lot of threes early, and kind of ones that we'll live with at times. And then we kind of got out of character there in the second quarter. In the first quarter, I just thought we weren't quite ourselves, dug ourselves a massive hole. And in the third, I just thought we kind of reconnected to who we are. There was great communication on the bench, even when we were down by 20. We didn't break through the lead very quickly. The guys did a great job, and we stayed very present. We just stacked possessions and trusted the one play at a time thing, and that shows the power of it. We were back in the game. I think we tied the game with like 7 to go in the fourth, so we were able to close it pretty quickly once we stacked the stops.
Mark, how cool sort of activity change every game?
He changes every game he's in. I didn't think that was an outlier for Alex. He's like that every night. He's like that in a preseason game. He's constantly engaged in the competition, and the size of the stage or the pressure of the game doesn't impact him at all. He just is. He's playing the next possession. He was all over the place again, per usual, and made some big plays. I mean, he had the driving kick that got us a 3 down the stretch late. So he's doing it on offense too.
Where does the wherewithal come from? I mean, you sort of mentioned it, just to be down 29, to be out of character at parts in that first half, to see them nail all those threes. Like, where does the wherewithal come from to stay in that and still be able to come back?
Yeah, I just think we got a team of guys that feel a responsibility to each other, and they're going to go down swinging. We could have easily lost that game tonight because of the hole we dug ourselves, but like I said, we're going to get tested a lot of different times, and we've got to be ready to pull together when we do, and that's what I thought we did at halftime. Like, we were a connected team in the second half of that game in the face of adversity on the road against a team that was playing really well and that was really hungry.
First half tonight, it seemed like their process and decision making was really, really quick, and the second half not so much. What did you feel like you guys did to kind of slow them down?
Yeah, I thought some of it was just like transition. We scored a little more. We got back a little faster. I mean, I hate to oversimplify it, but that's a huge part of playing this team. And we've had them in check through the first 2 games in that part of the game, and we didn't have them in check in the first half. And then, the pressure in the second half too. We really amped up the pressure. I thought Casey did a great job with that. Dork did a great job with that. Alex did a great job. Doug, all those guys were up the floor. Even Chet a couple times there. Really made them feel us, and that certainly makes it difficult to start possessions against us when we do that.
Michael Martin, let's talk Thunder. Mark, you talked over and over throughout your tenure about this being an uncommon group. I guess one season into history, you guys have the second largest comeback in playoff history tonight. What is it about this group that makes them so special? And do they still surprise you from time to time, or is it almost just, I don't want to say expected because it's so much of your history, but you're not shocked by it?
Yeah, never surprised, always impressed. They just feel an unbelievable responsibility to one another. I think it just comes down to that. They're the epitome of the team, 1 through 18. And I thought tonight again, we could have lost that game, but coming together the way we did in the second half and standing up together in the face of adversity and in the face of us kind of being out of character in the first half, that kind of builds your muscle even if you don't win the game. Because obviously the series wouldn't have ended tonight if we lost. So I just thought we stood up with our backs against the wall tonight. Certainly, again, not surprised, but impressed every time they do it.
Because in those moments of adversity at halftime, what are what are the vibes like in the locker room? I know you can't say too much, but is it more frustration or is it more optimism, calmness?
This group stays pretty present. We're frustrated. I mean, I think there was a collective frustration. I mean, no one likes being down by 25 at halftime. That's a good thing. There's an energy to anger But you gotta channel that energy and we gotta channel it together, and I think this group does a great job of just getting our feet back on the ground, understanding what we need to do to try to change the game, and that was on display in the second half.
Yeah,
Anybody? Go ahead, John.
Mark, you went, like with the 4 guards with AJ even in the first half, and then you went pretty heavy on that in the second half versus size like more traditionally if you've gone to Aaron or J. Lo. Like, what's the trigger for you to kind of stay small like that with the guards versus maybe playing more traditionally?
A little bit of, the pressure, trying to get the pressure amped up, that helps. Getting Chet at the 5 is a priority at different times, and, you automatically become smaller at the other spots when we do that. And then we need to score, when you're down like that. We needed to score a little bit, and Chet gives you the opportunity to kind of have the cake and eat it too there, because you space the floor more and you get him, in space, and you spread out the defense, but you don't give up a ton on the other end because of his rim protection. So that's the power of having a player that's as dynamic on offense and as stingy on defense as he is. But it's going to be different nights. But obviously, what we had been doing the first 2 games, we were kind of rolling that back early, and that wasn't working tonight. They made adjustments to their rotation, especially to start the second quarter. And so, we weren't going to just sit there and watch it happen. We were trying a lot of different things, obviously.
Well, obviously, the officials thought it was worth reviewing, and John, as you come back after the play, what was your perspective of that play with Will and John?
I mean, they reviewed it, so trusting their judgment on that, but obviously not. I never want to see anybody get hurt. I hope he's okay. But you want everybody to be at full strength. He's a great competitor. He was playing great. Obviously, that had something to do with the game as well. It'd be, wrong of me not to acknowledge that, but I think it was a clean play. I think he was just playing hard. It's unfortunate, and I hope he's all right.
Anybody else? Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thanks.